How to command a room without yelling or throwing a chair. Brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments. Commanding a room isn't about who speaks the loudest or who throws the biggest tantrum, though we've all seen those attempts. True power lies in subtlety, confidence, and a touch of strategy. For professional women navigating fiercely competitive workplaces, the ability to own a room is a skill worth mastering, and one that can propel your career into the stratosphere. You don't need to channel a drill sergeant or storm the room like a hurricane to capture attention. You can dominate without a decibel spike. Here's how. Walk in like you own it, even if you're borrowing it. First impressions are everything. When you step into a room, your body language speaks louder than words. Shoulders back, chin slightly raised, and stride with purpose. You're not just walking, you're gliding, radiating confidence with every step. Think Beyoncé entering an awards show, but without the wind machine. The trick? Even if you don't feel confident, fake it. No one in the room knows you spilled coffee on your blouse 5 minutes ago, or that you're internally debating whether avocado toast qualifies as lunch. What they see is what you project, so project power. Never rush into a room. A hurried entrance screams, "I'm late and flustered." Instead, channel your inner queen, calm, composed, and utterly unbothered. Command the room with silence. Want to grab attention without uttering a single word? Master the power of the pause. When you enter the room, pause for a split second. Let the moment hang in the air. Look around, not in a deer-in-the-headlights way, but in a deliberate, assessing manner. This simple act forces everyone to acknowledge your presence. Once you've settled, avoid speaking immediately. Silence is magnetic. It makes people lean in, wondering what's coming next. And when you finally speak, you'll have their undivided attention. Maintain eye contact with key players as you scan the room. This isn't a staring contest. It's a silent message. I see you, and I'm in control. Use your voice like a weapon. When it's time to speak, your voice is your most powerful tool. Forget yelling. It's not about volume. It's about resonance and delivery. Aim for a tone that's steady, deliberate, and just a touch lower than your natural pitch. Lower tones convey authority and make you sound like you know things the others don't. Avoid filler words like or you know. They dilute your message. Instead, pause when needed. Pauses add weight to your words. And never end a sentence with a questioning intonation unless you're asking a question. You're making a statement, not seeking validation. Replace "I think this could work" with "this will work." Notice the difference? So will everyone else. Dress the part. No loud patterns required. Your outfit is your armor, and the right ensemble can make you feel invincible. But commanding a room doesn't mean wearing the flashiest dress or the tallest heels. It's about finding a look that aligns with your personal brand, polished, powerful, and a little unpredictable. Invest in timeless pieces with sharp tailoring that screams sophistication without yelling for attention. Accessories? Minimal but impactful. Think one bold piece, like a striking necklace or a killer pair of shoes, that says, "I'm here to slay, but professionally." Wear colors that evoke authority, like navy, black, or deep red. Bonus points if your outfit makes you feel like the star of a Netflix drama about boardroom intrigue. Own your space without taking over the table. Commanding a room means owning your physical space. Don't hunch over or fold your arms like you're shielding yourself from invisible darts. Instead, claim your space with open gestures. Rest your hands lightly on the table, or use subtle hand movements when speaking to emphasize key points. If you're seated, sit up straight, lean slightly forward, and engage with the group. If you're standing, plant your feet shoulder-width apart. Avoid swaying or shifting nervously. It makes you look like you're searching for the nearest exit. The power lean. When someone else is speaking, lean slightly forward as if their words are riveting, even if they're not. This conveys engagement and keeps you in control of the energy. Don't chase the spotlight, create it. Commanding a room isn't about hogging attention. It's about creating moments that matter. You don't need to dominate every conversation to make an impact. Choose your moments wisely and speak with intention. When you do speak, make it count. Start with a hook, a question, a bold statement, or an unexpected fact. For example, what if I told you we've been doing this backward? Boom. Instant intrigue. And remember, brevity is your friend. Long-winded explanations lose the room faster than a boring PowerPoint. Keep your points sharp, concise, and impossible to ignore. Handle interruptions with grace and precision. In a cutthroat environment, interruptions are inevitable. But how you handle them can elevate your presence. Instead of snapping, use the power of composure. If someone cuts you off, let them finish, then say calmly, "That's an interesting point, but let me finish mine first." Alternatively, if you're feeling spicy, try, "I'm glad you're excited, but I'm not done yet." Smile sweetly while reclaiming your time. This balance of firmness and charm is magnetic. Read the room like a mind reader. Before you can command a room, you need to understand its pulse. Think of the room as a stage, and every individual as an actor with a role to play. Your job is to figure out who's starring, who's lurking in the wings, and who's angling for a plot twist. Pay attention to body language, tone, and the flow of conversation. The power players. These are the loudest voices in the room, or sometimes the quiet ones who make people stop and listen. Know who they are, acknowledge their presence, and find ways to align with them, even subtly. The saboteurs. Every meeting has one. Someone who thrives on contrarian energy. Neutralize them by inviting their input before they derail you. That's an interesting perspective. Can you expand on that? The wallflowers. These quiet individuals often hold hidden gems of insight. By drawing them into the conversation, you demonstrate leadership while earning their goodwill. Start with a quick scan of the room before diving in. Who's leaning forward? Who's scrolling their phone? The clues are everywhere. Create allies before you need them. Commanding a room is much easier when you have allies seated at the table. Build relationships ahead of time by networking strategically, especially with people whose voices carry weight. Compliment their insights in past meetings, share ideas over coffee, or even shoot them a quick, "Great point earlier" email. When the moment comes to speak up, they'll naturally back you. And if you sense resistance from a particular individual, approach them ahead of time with a preview of your idea. "I'm planning to bring this up in the meeting. Would love to hear your thoughts." This preemptive move makes them feel included and less likely to object publicly. When an ally backs you up in a meeting, acknowledge them. A simple "thanks for adding to that. Exactly what I was thinking" reinforces your shared brilliance. Ask questions that make you the center of gravity. Questions are a stealthy way to steer the conversation without dominating it. The trick is to ask questions that showcase your intelligence while forcing others to focus on you. Think of them as intellectual breadcrumbs that lead everyone to your main point. Examples. How does this align with the bigger picture we discussed last quarter? What's the biggest risk we're trying to avoid here? What's the alternative if we don't take this approach? These questions make you look strategic and thoughtful, while also subtly setting the tone of the discussion. Handle criticism like a pro. If you're commanding a room, chances are someone will challenge you. It's inevitable. But criticism isn't a threat. It's an opportunity to showcase your poise and resilience. Stay calm. The moment you react defensively, you lose control of the room. Instead, pause, nod thoughtfully, and then respond with something like, "That's an interesting perspective. Let me share why I think this approach works." Reframe the narrative. Turn critiques into stepping stones. For example, "I see your point about the timeline, and that's why I've built in flexibility to address potential delays." Redirect attention. If someone's clearly just being difficult, redirect the conversation. "Let's table that for now and refocus on the next step." Remember, the goal isn't to win, every debate. It's to maintain your authority and keep the room aligned with your vision. Use humor to diffuse tension. Humor, when used wisely, is a secret weapon for commanding a room. It disarms skeptics, eases tension, and makes you memorable. Just make sure your humor is light and inclusive, never at anyone's expense. Examples. Looks like we've all survived another PowerPoint marathon. Congrats to us. If we're debating this long, it must be a great idea. Don't worry, I promise to keep my next point under 5 hours. A well-timed joke can transform a dry meeting into a productive discussion. Plus, it signals confidence. After all, only someone in control has the luxury of humor. End with a call to action. A powerful ending cements your presence in the room. Don't just trail off, end with a decisive statement or a clear call to action. Examples. Let's agree on next steps by Friday so we can move forward. I'll follow up with a summary and timeline after this meeting. Thank you all for your input. Looking forward to seeing this idea take shape. By closing with clarity and direction, you leave no room for ambiguity, and you remind everyone that you're a leader, not just a participant. Follow up like a boss. Commanding a room doesn't end when the meeting is over. Following up ensures your voice continues to resonate long after you've left the table. Summarize key points, reiterate your vision, and outline action items in a follow-up email that's concise yet authoritative. Example. Hi everyone. Great discussion today. As agreed, we'll move forward with key decision. I'll share next steps by date. Let me know if there are any additional thoughts. This cements your role as a driver of progress and reinforces your leadership. Commanding a room without yelling or flipping a chair isn't about being the loudest voice. It's about mastering the art of presence, influence, and strategy. By reading the room, creating allies, and steering conversations with intention, you can own any space you step into. So the next time you walk into a meeting, remember, you don't need a megaphone or theatrics to make an impact. All you need is confidence, strategy, and a touch of finesse. And when you leave, the only thing people will remember is that you own the room, and you did it effortlessly. Brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments.